Hey everybody, welcome to exclusive AnglersChannel.com video with Anglers Channel Pro Staffer Robby Digh. We're up in Denver, North Carolina today, and it's Friday the 21st, I believe 21st of October. And it's been a busy couple weeks for Robby. He won, did you win a regional BFL up on Smith Mountain?
Yeah, it was a regional tournament, John.
And you won a boat prize package with that. We're going to talk about that. We also have the Berkley Big Bass tournament. 2-day event going on down at Lake Murray this weekend. You know, these formats, Robby, are really catching on around the country. You got Berkley Big Bass, you got the Oakley Big Bass, you know, where you go out and you weigh a fish every hour. And if you win the hour, you win a lot of money. And if you have the biggest fish of the tournament for 2 days, you win a boat package. So there's a lot of that going on, and it seems to be catching on the more and more that it kind of perpetuates itself.
Yeah, it gives everybody, you know, more chances to win, and you know, if you pay a $200 or $300 entry fee, John, it just increases your odds so much, and it's so much fun, you know, when you go out and catch a fish and you're weighing in every hour instead of just one time at the end of the day, and you know, it's a great aspect, and I think you're going to see more growth, John, in the coming years. You're going to see a lot more of it.
I'll tell you what, Oakley Big Bass Tournament Trail just released their schedule, which is on the tournaments page of AnglersChannel.com. They have got a heck of a schedule next year, and most of the tournaments are right here in the southeast. They're going to Smith Mountain, they're going to Lake Norman, they're going to Lake Murray, they're going to Clarks Hill, they're going to Guntersville, they're going to Douglas. I mean, they're hitting some great lakes in our region next year, and we look forward to covering those. But this Berkley Big Bass on Murray this weekend ought to be very interesting. You know, Murray this time of year has got the ability to produce some very good quality fish, and I would expect with the numbers they're going to have down there, there will be some good quality fish caught.
Yeah, there will be, John. There's going to be a lot of fish. There's going to be schooling some. There's going to be some fish out on the ends of points. You know, there's going to be some people throwing some flukes and some top waters. So you're going to see some large fish come in. You know, everybody knows Murray's got some very large fish in it. But in the same token, the fish are not going to be, they're going to be kind of scattered to some extent. And it's going to be a tough tournament, but I would predict, you know, it's going to take a 7-8 pound fish to win the boat down there.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll be paying, actually it's $5,000 cash guaranteed for the Berkley Big Bass this weekend. But on to your regional win at Smith Mtn Lake. Tell us about your win up there. Smith Mountain's been a pretty good lake this year, but wow, you won a Ranger boat package. I mean, that was a big day for you up there.
Yeah, it was very exciting, and you know, I had several friends there with me that placed in the top 6, and
2-day event, correct?
It was a 2-day event, and then they cut to the top 12, and then 12 of us fished on the final day. They fished 3 days total, and it was just, you know, beautiful scenery up there. The leaves were changing, and the lake fish, John, it fished pretty tough. You know, I only had a little bit over 30 pounds for 3 days, so it was a very tough tournament. We had tough conditions, a lot of rain, a lot of wind. And I was happy to come out of there with the win. What
was your dominant pattern up there? I mean, that's a lake we've talked about a lot that you like and a lot of anglers like, but what worked for you up there?
I had 2 dominant patterns, John, a crankbait and a jig, and some of my fish was as deep as 13, 14 feet, and some of them was as shallow as a foot, but that was my 2 patterns. I done a little cranking every morning, then I went to a jig in the afternoon.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We went up there to cover the Anglers Choice Marine Team Trail, their first tournament of the year this year up there. It is without question one of the more picturesque lakes in the country.
It is. And, you know, our lakes around here has got a lot of boats on it, but that lake up there, most people at their docks, they'll have at least 2 boats. You know, they don't have just one. They have at least 2. So it can get very crowded up there, even though it is a very large lake, but a lot of boat traffic.
Well, and from the Washington, D.C. area that comes down in Baltimore, you'd be surprised how many of those, you know, I call them Mid-Easterners, so to speak, come down to fish Smith Mountain and to recreation down there. It's just a great lake and a great fishery.